And we're live. We got 25 in here because I was a couple minutes late doing a tech-based phone call with our good friend and guest coming in here shortly. Who all do we have in the house? We got a full house already. Oh, goodness. Got to scroll back. Danny Boyd was here planting his checkered pirate flag early. If you'll notice, pinned at the top, there is a link to No Name Nationals hoodies and caps. Hot off the press, we now have No Name Nationals hooded sweatshirts. I'm wearing one variety, and we have two varieties of the caps. We'll get to that here in a minute. Unfinished Project was here talking about West Virginia looks drafty. Yeah, the thumbnail, I was in my hometown of Bluefield here earlier this week, and there was snow in the air, and I got behind an old flat-fendered Willys. There's a dude in town that has a bunch of old cars in his building, and that's one of them, and I thought it was pretty cool. Made a nice picture. Lars LP94 is here. Dr. Go, that rig should get you home when it keeps snowing. Yes, it will. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube of guys taking these ridiculously stock-looking old Willys rock crawling. It's amazing. You would think as little suspension travel as they have, and they were doing it on sand tires, you'd think they wouldn't go, but they do. I don't know how. I guess it's because they're just so light, narrow, and nimble. Calling Tebow, a.k.a. Mama M to the third power. Lunar Outlaw Garage. How's it going? LSS Drone Photography. There's a guy who's motivated. He's already almost halfway to his 500 subscribers. Just doing it to do it. But, yeah, check out what he's doing over there. Good stuff. And speaking of No Name 500, we do have a registered No Name 500 channel. We do have one so far, even though we haven't announced the event. We already have one, and that's Tim Jacobson. He has Indecisive Garage, but he is better known as the Ford Lightning clone. That is the test bed for the very first Cope Racing Transmission E4OD valve body. So go over there, check out footage on his channel, and he's climbing. He's going to make it. He's working on it. The One-Eyed Cats is awfully quiet for in here. Never Done Projects. Dean Stevenson. He says, I'd help, but I'm not really a rip on there, and I do it kind of guy with new situations. Just kidding, but he's already joined. Dean, sometimes I think we need a translator. You speak New Zenglish. Wrong English is here. How's it going wrong? To reiterate, Dart Sport, that is right. Dean Stevenson says, wisdom, right there. I'm sending out Christmas cards today, and I actually sent one to a Wisdom Lane. NSB Custom Cars, how's it going, guys? Oh, and by the way, just for whatever it's worth, if you're in the chat and you'd like to get one of my my goofy Christmas cards, feel free to email me your address, and I will drop you one in the mail anywhere in the world. And I'll just put my email in here. And we'll drop it in. And I don't see anybody in here who's not on my Christmas card list. But if you want to get a Christmas card this year, if you've gotten one before, you're on the list. But if you want to be on the list, it's a goofy card. I mean, I think you'll get a kick out of it. Cost you nothing. It'll definitely not blend in with any of your other family Christmas cards you've gotten thus far this year. I can promise you that. Stick Street Garage. How's it going, sir? Let's see here. You know, I really like that Cookie Monster looking emoji there. It always reminds me of Polito's car. Unfinished project is still at work, going on his 14th hour at work. No end in sight yet. Understand. Ron English asking where I am. Well, I'll tell you where I am. I'm 7 minutes behind, apparently. Turbo Tom is here. Yeah, we'll catch up. We had to go back and greet. Grandma Vic is here for Zell Racing. How's it going, sir? Grandma Vic and Grandpito Vic. Rapid Transit J. Heavens Mopar Scott. Camp Del Buffo. Rusted Metal Garage. Boy, that describes a lot of us. Pure Pontiac. Lovejoy is here. Popping in to say my bone tumor is non-cancerous. Well, that's great. Hooray. Congratulations. Anti-inflammatory and can walk pain-free, just waiting on surgery to move it now. Right on, man. That's good. Good to hear. Grandpito says, hello. Well, I say hello, Hugh, a.k.a. Grandpito Vic. My Aunt Nancy swings by. I'm going to save, what is it, 30-some, 40 cents on postage by driving 30-some, 40 miles to Aunt Nancy to take her Christmas card. It's a good excuse, right? And Aunt Nancy comes in, then her younger sister comes in. What you talking about, Willie's? That's right. Yeah, that flat fender Jeep in the thumbnail is a pretty cool one. I saw it running around. And while I'm at it, I'm getting closer to being caught up. I'll find something for you guys. Let's see here. Speaking of Willie's. Maybe I won't find it that way. Let's see. Sometimes I gotta have more than one way to find something. I was digging through some old photos and found what day did I do that? Here we go. This, speaking of Willie's, this is my father's 54 M38A1. And he bought that, I believe, the year after I was born. It was military surplus in Richmond. And flat-toed that thing home. He built the major pieces, stuck an engine transmission in it there in the yard. I think he paid $100 for it surplus, brought it home. But anyway, got 10,000 miles on it. How it got that many is beyond me. Not a flat fender, but it's the second year of round fenders. Dean Stevenson thinks I've been very good. I don't know that it counts for anything. Let's see. I'll get caught up a little bit. Lars is digging that hoodie. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have the maker of the hoodie on later in the show. And for those of you who are here early, we're going to be giving some stuff away. Dean, did you get your No Name National shirt? Dean, can you send me a picture of you in that shirt? I'll show it on here. Some of you might not have seen how we did the shirt. Uncle Sonny's crawler had a speed of about 0.2 miles per hour crawl up a tree. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Andrew Nelson says, Merry Christmas to all. How's it going, sir? Been meaning to holler at you just because I need to. What are you, 521 days from retiring? Something close? I get one from you. It'll be the only one I get. Send me your mailing address and I'll send you one. All right. Still scrolling. Still gonna tell you what. You got 50 people in here. You can't dally around too long on your comments. Stuff with Cletus. How is it going, sir? When I think of Cletus, I think of the grill. When I think of the grill, I think of a 52 Ford truck. If I ever see a 52 Ford truck with a grill like Cletus's grill, we're all in trouble. Good money spent well there. I tell you what, these are cool, man. We've been wanting to do this for a while. I'm a hoodie junkie. This is like my official wintertime uniform, so we needed to offer these, and now we do. Old McDonald has a car. So cold in Michigan, the molecules aren't moving. It's like I told Dan from New Guy's Garage. I said, dude, I don't know how Minnesota was still inhabited after the invention of the car. 134 cube Hurricane. All I know is it's an overhead valve 4-cylinder. It's not a flathead. Pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure it's an overhead valve. And it's got a T10 3-speed. Yep. Victor swings in. Lots of stuff to do before Christmas. I've got a pile of cards. I get the local print shop to do them. I'm not one of these generic box of cards type of people. My card is the one that all your company comes by and goes, what is that? SSR Performance and Pure Pontiac. Gentlemen, I can only wear zip-up hoodies. Zip-up hoodies are okay. There's pluses and minuses, so I usually do the pullover. I will say, though, I got used to a draw stroke that lifts anyway because that works for everything. So problem is when you wear a zip-up, you want to do your draw stroke this way. When you wear a pullover, you have to do it this way, but this works on all of them, so I just practice this. And if you're going to be a good operator, you actually should get rid of this string because this is the last thing you want in your grip between your hand and your pistol. Anyway, not that anybody asked for any of that. LSS Drone Photography said, Channel 10 did another interview with me today. They wanted my input since I'm a commercial drone pilot about the drone sightings. Well, cool. Yeah, Steve's got all kinds of doors opening for him now that he's got his content getting out there. Yeah, neat stuff. Yeah, you want to see some neat drone stuff, go over there and check out LSS Drone Photography. He's going to be coming to our content creator workshops we're going to be having after the top of the year. And, yeah, he's got some cool stuff. I've encouraged him to put together a 59-second video of just like a medley of the things he's captured. It's very interesting. Wrong English still has his Niblack 57 shirt from the first No Name Nationals. Yeah. No one has asked about the 6 is greater than 8 graphic. Hey, if you know, you know. Bad Tree Blake says Heathens Assemble. Spill the Beans LSS Drone. Yeah. Junkyard D. How cold is it out there? Cold enough, I'm glad I'm not out there. We've got 37 here right now. So it's above freezing. Get comfortable in this chair today. I've been in and out of it all day. What link would you like? I don't know what that goes with, man. The interview? Oh, yeah. Well, if you have an interview, yeah. If you have an interview, Steve, shoot me over the link to that and I'll put it in the chat. Buff says, I have one zip up, all those are cool. Me too. I have exactly one zip up hoodie. And ironically, it's from one of the places where I've trained firearms. But they are an old school, well, they don't exist anymore, but they were an old school Weaver stance, open front concealment garment, the whole thing, right? 1911, the whole thing. It's like cutting edge of 1974. Turbo Tom said, I saw my first broken head gasket on a Hemi today. Made video. All right. I assume you mean a third gen? Levi says they're at the hotel at PRI currently editing, so we'll be in and out. Right on. Yeah, could pull together for this year. Nike's Dreams is doing something with Stone Soup, another channel. Okay. Zip up. So if you're using as a liner for a coat, yeah, Don used to having to bundle up for all that outdoor working. I just know one thing. I hate the cold. Dust Devil Garage is here. The party can really get started now. Bad Tree Blake says 18 feels like 8 cold. 18 feels like cold death. What are you talking about? To me, if the temperature doesn't start with a 6, it's inhumane. That's just me. I don't even like the 50s, but I'll deal with it. $23 here, dropping into the teens. It's a chilly 69. Yeah, I could struggle through 69 degrees. I could struggle through that. Twisted Dennis says it was 12 here this morning. You know, that's kind of funny. I took a whole stack of cards to the post office today, and I was flipping through them, just making sure everything's posted. And I'm looking at this thinking, man, it was from everywhere. The number of states in that stack of cards. I guarantee you I have more states for personal mail than anybody in their mail and stuff today. 33 in North Carolina. Yeah, but you're from the eastern part of North Carolina. It's a little different. See, I'm an hour away from the western part of North Carolina here. In 1 hour, I'm in Eden, North Carolina. Diecast Streams, I don't have a coat at all. Mine disappeared after a trip to Michigan to my father's funeral and haven't had one since 2021. Dude, you can find coats so easy. They are out there. They are out there. I know you wear a good size coat, it'll be more challenging. But man, like textiles, there's no shortage. You'll find it. You can find some great stuff at thrift shop too. I had a really nice embroidered collared Virginia Tech shirt one time. I wore that thing to meetings. I found it at a thrift shop for like $3. I'm like, who in the world got rid of this? It's a really nice shirt. I don't know what they pay. I mean, probably even 20 years ago, they probably paid like $70 for that thing. It's amazing how nice a clothes people will get rid of. Rabbit Transit J said it was 6 this morning. I'm glad you lived to tell about it. Frizzell says, all you guys trying to get that 500, keep digging. It's worth the effort. It will come. I started the year with 1,000, and now I'm 200 away from 10,000. If I can do it, anyone can. Right on. Thanks for encouraging everybody. 38 says, great way to show off Christmas lights. 38, if you want to see some Christmas lights, there is an incredible video on that LSS drone photography channel of the Chick-fil-A in Bonsack, Virginia. 100,000 light display at Chick-fil-A of all places. You need to see that. It's a short. Unfinished project, if you could, or Lars, one of you guys, if you could throw that link up, it'd be pretty cool on the LSS drone channel. The short of the light display at the Bonsack Chick-fil-A. It's actually really neat. You wouldn't know what it was until you look at the description. I mean, I'm surprised corporate even lets them do that. They had lights like all across the parking lot and everything else. I mean, it was arguably wilder than Chevy Chase's house in Christmas Vacation. One-Eyed Cat says, and tomorrow's the last day of venison roast season. We're committed. Right on. I really want my Carhartt back. Well, I can understand that. I almost got Jethro a Carhartt jacket. They had them on sale at Tractor Supply, and I cannot get one big enough for his neck. To get one big enough for his neck, it goes on this like a 100-pound dog. if I just wear t-shirts all winter with a flannel shirt over, but yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. I've done a lot of that too. But I settle into the hoodie thing. I like having that pouch pocket for the hoodie. It's just super convenient. The only thing is, I get used to sticking my phone in the pouch pocket. Then in the summer, I go stick it back in the back pocket. And I don't like that. I wish I had one place I kept it. In the winter, I can keep it in the back pocket, but it's more convenient keeping it in the front. I can't wear a sweatshirt in the summer, so I guess it's one of those things that will just always be a thing. Steve asks, I want to get something nice for my mom for Christmas. Does anyone have any recommendations? Oh boy, you asked for it. Unfinished project got a really nice Beretta shirt at the Goodwill. Oh yeah, you can find good stuff there. It's not quite as good as it used to be. They've gotten to where they try to pilfer for profit and, putting stuff online and all that. But Justin Hill from Idaho, we know it's nasty cold where you are, man. Pockets for the win, yes. You're not a kangaroo? I don't know what I am. I don't know exactly what I'm not either. All right. I think I'm actually finally caught up. It only took me 22 minutes. That's how long it takes to get caught up when you go back 5 minutes with 50 people in here. Peckerwood Customs, how's it going? It's funny because I have people's actual names on the cards. Sometimes it takes me a second. Rabbit Transit J says, my kids sell vintage stuff pulled from Goodwill bins, lots of automobiles. Oh, yeah. It depends. And usually the more upscale the town, the cooler the stuff you can find. I know our Blacksburg, they get rid of a lot of good stuff. The students don't pilfer as much as you would think. Something that happened, I don't know if it still happens in Blacksburg. I'm assuming it does, which is where Virginia Tech is. And New City Carpet. Well, I haven't seen that name in a while. Looking forward to making my favorite venison stew for Christmas. Goes with the local whiskey. Cool. So the students sleep in these this desk and bed combination thing. It is a rack, but it's sort of like the cadets have. But a lot of students have in their dorm rooms. They're sized for a dorm room. Every year they buy this kit they put together in their dorm room, and then at the end of the year they get rid of it. And then these people scoop up all of these ones they get rid of and resell them every year. I don't know what the life cycle is, but it's amazing that students will get rid of absolutely anything. Cars, bicycles. You wouldn't believe how many bicycles get turned over every year to Virginia Tech auction. And I bought some new hardware at the Virginia Tech auction so that hopefully we can up our streaming game a little bit. Jay said my 15-year-old pulled an autographed Grand Spalding shirt. Cool. Very cool. I see Dougster sneaked in here. I wish my family could have Christmas. I understand. I totally get it. But you don't always get to choose what you get to do. I have not gotten to get together with my father's family for 27 years now. I know I proffered a few years ago. I said, hey, why don't I rent us a nice place in the Smoky Mountains because it's like central to all of us. They don't care. So they don't care. How can I? All right, we got someone on the doorbell here, and we're going to talk about apparel.
Ding dong.
Tony's Hot Rod Garage, the proprietor of Gunslinger Graphics. And we've been talking about this for a while. And Tony has made it happen. So what you're looking at is the first No Name Nationals hooded sweatshirt. And we've done something a little different too. So as you know, we always try to keep everything affordable with the No Name Nationals, right? If you look at our merch costs, we keep them as reasonable as we can, right? Light margins, always have. Some things I stock here, but we're getting to where we can branch out a little bit because some people are like, you know what? I'm willing to pay more for a certain, that's fine. That's great, right? Tony is Gunslinger Graphics. Yes. So Grand Pito Vic, this is the guy. He handles merch for, I think, about 20 channels now, including the No Name National specialty stuff.
18 to be exact,
18 to be exact.
including No Name Nationals and my own.
That's it. That's it. So we'll talk a little bit about it. So we've been wanting to add this to product line. We've had T-shirts. At the No Name Nationals, we debuted hats. In fact, we debuted these hats. Grand Pito Vic, there is a link down below. You'll see a link to Gunslinger Graphics, and you'll see a link to Tony's channel. Get hold of him that way. Probably the best way to do it. He is responsive. So we had these hats, the No Name Nationals, and they sold out so fast, the only way you saw them was on people's heads, right? If you watch the intro to this live stream, you'll see this hat on someone's head in the video, right? But now we have them, and we're going to stock them here. I mean, obviously, some things you'll order from here and can get them fulfilled from here, T-shirts, hats, but we're not going to keep everything and fulfill it from here. All right, because that kind of stifles things, right? And then you can't have your sizes and so forth. And so you have to have a vendor who's really good at fulfillment and all that, which Tony is. So we're branching more into that. So this hoodie that you see right here, it's up now. The link at the top that's pinned at the top will take you to this. And what we're doing now is we're going to offer a base version and an upgrade version of most things, okay? Because you guys have noticed I've worn a lot of embroidered stuff and stuff that's a little bit pricier. Again, not making that the only option for people, because obviously we want as many people wearing apparel as possible, right? So we always want to have a budget-friendly option. In fact, that's what we wanted to start with. That's the bread and butter. But now we're offering that upgrade. So you want to debrief these, Tony? We've got two different hoodies on the site. We'll start with this one right here.
Well, that one would be the lower cost. It's not by any means a bad hoodie. It's a Gildan.
They don't offer anything that I won't wear. I mean, it's good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a good brand. It's a nice hoodie. It's just less expensive. To be exact, $14 less expensive across the board versus the Port & Company hoodie that John is wearing. That Port & Company hoodie is a freaking nice hoodie, and that's why it's $55.
And you'll see, like, it's got the metal eyelets, around your drawstring and stuff. Little touches like that.
Little touches like that. The lining inside, it's, what's the old saying? Softer than a baby's butt. It's, you can just tell it's a more premium product. But some of you already have some of my Gildan hoodies that I've sold, for the other channels on the website. They're not a bad hoodie. I wear them day in and day out. I beat the living piss out of them. The PNC, the Port & Company hoodie is just, actually it's a Port Authority hoodie, but it's just a little bit nicer. The Cadillac, if you will, I guess.
It's nice,
and it's a little bit more money.
Yeah, you have nice and you have nicer. There's no bad choice here. But we wanted to offer, because that Gildan, I'd be completely happy if that was the only hoodie we offered. However, because I like my nice touches on my hoodies, my nice upgrades, we want to offer that too. And kind of the catch is that if you order the basic things, right, your everyday wear things are going to be things you should be able to get a little quicker. Your upgraded stuff, you know what? We'll tell you the time, we'll tell you the cost, and then that's up to you. But everybody's different. It's just an option. It's there for you.
And as far as the Port and Company hoodies, I do have them in stock. I don't have as many of them in stock, but I will keep them in stock. If
Yeah.
it's on the website for sale, I at least keep a couple of each size and color offering in stock. I don't like to make people wait. Now, something custom one off, like when we did the pre-orders on, the No Name Nationals 2024 shirts. Yeah, there's lead time on that because that's something that's never going to be sold again. I didn't want to get stuck with a
Yep.
bunch of unused product. I mean, that's just a waste of money, and at the end of the day would take away from No Name Nationals money. And the whole idea
Well, I mean, I think we sold them
all.
all, but that was a one-time thing.
Right. So we did the pre-order and we ordered the materials to build them accordingly. So there was a little bit of lead time on it. But any of the stuff that's on the website, the embroidered hats, the printed hats, the hoodie that John's wearing, the Gildan hoodie, the t-shirts in both gray and black are available. If you ordered one right now, the thing would ship out Monday.
Unfinished Project is asking if we buy a hoodie to get 10x entries. I neither know nor have any interest in doing any of that wild kind of stuff. All right. Like all I do is if I want to give something away, I give it away. And when I give it away, it's all I need is an address to send it. It's all I need, right? You win it, you win it. That's all there is to it. There's no strings attached. There's no shipping. What we say you want is what you want, and that's it. So there's no like X number of entries. There's no complexity to any of it. I don't want to try to keep up with any of that kind of stuff. Levi says 280 days till the No Name Nationals. Man, she's counting down. I can say Gunslinger Graphics is quality products. I like the shirts I have. Yes, I've never been disappointed with the quality of anything Tony has ever made us.
Definitely appreciate the kind
his name on it.
Grand Pedo Vic, he sent me an email. I'll look at that email later. What we can do is via email, we can trade phone numbers. And we'll just talk and see what you want and go from there.
Dean has sent this. I'm hoping we'll get one with him wearing it. So apparently he sent me confirmation that he got it.
Yeah, I sent Dean a few other little goodies along with that shirt as well.
Love my community shirt. Hat is every day I represent. Okay. For Christmas, the sky wants peace on earth for all mankind and a large bag of traction for opening 2025 Test and Tune and Island Dragway. MSB says we need to pick a day next year and everyone wear their community shirts that day. Do it, man. Do it. I'm down with that.
Yeah. No Name Nationals Day.
The community
else gets a holiday.
Is the coolest. Yes, it is. Well, I mean, to me, it's just something I wanted to say, and we say it big. All right. Speaking of this, One-Eyed Cat says, love my community shirt. Hat is every day I represent. There's only about a dozen of you on earth who have a No Name Nationals hat. They're a pretty rare commodity.
I think there was 20 that we sold at the event.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I didn't have one of these hats myself. I sold them all. So this is the hat right here. It's a flex fit. It's a mesh back, all black. It's a nice hat. These are nice hats. I mean, I've had several of these style hats. It's quality print. It's a good hat, right? Those of you guys who have them, you can tell us what you think. But these hats are on the site, gunslingergraphics.com. You can get them right there. And then, for those of you, let's see here.
I think I jumped the gun when I mentioned the hats. I don't think you talked about them yet.
No, not yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. It is a cool idea. Yeah, it is. Colleen's vouching for the Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans merch from Tony. Oh, yeah.
Yep, we actually hand-delivered a bunch of that to No Name Nationals for them.
Grandma Vic says, for Christmas, I want America to love each other and things to get better and good health for all. We're right on. All right. So now here's the upgrade hat. If you want to do it. Okay. So I don't wear hats as much as I used to. You used to just never see me without a hat. I still like to wear hats, just don't wear them as often. And mostly when you guys see me, I'm here in the studio and I don't wear a hat inside. So you guys don't see me in a hat. But anyway, this is a really nice hat. It's a panel hat. It is a snapback adjustable and it's embroidered. So if you like that nice style of the embroidery, like on the staff shirts at No Name Nationals, if you've seen those, that's this. It is a really nice hat. So whichever suits you. Again, these cost a little more, but we want to give you that option if it's something you want. Justin Hill has a No Name National shirt. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Grand Pito hits Vic stopped wearing hats when my hair fell out. No need for haircuts now. Yeah, but now you need to shade on your head.
Exactly. See, I appreciate a hat when I'm outside.
Laura says, I've seen a lot of y'all's hair in person. Please, people, buy a hat. Just kidding, maybe.
I love it.
Yeah, for real.
Leave it to Lars.
For real. You know, the worst part to me about not wearing a hat is you don't have that place to throw your wallet and keys and stuff like while you're changing over a pair of jeans or something.
Yep, I do that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a catch-all.
Dr. Ghost said, I tucked my hair up and under my hat, and I went in to ask him why. Okay.
Grand Pito Vix is free.
Sunburns now, yeah. Twisted Mopar, I wear a hat to keep my hair from growing. Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot of hair.
Hey now, Dogster, you be nice.
I don't know. Tony's more butter bean than butter raw. Let's show you what time it is. Can't hardly stand a hat. That's because you've got more hair than a Snell helmet. That's why. My current hat is getting broken in nicely, but that embroidery, yeah, that embroidery is sharp, man. And I'll tell you, you can't do it justice, just here. But I'm telling you, that is, you see that, and of course, this just came, I just opened this, so it still has like the scuds to shake off of them shipping. But like, it turned out really good. We had to really, work on that embroidery file, right? Why don't you tell them about just that file we did there for the embroidery?
That has actually been, we have re-digitized that a grand total of 4 times to get it to where we want it for the quality.
Yes. You got to realize embroidery, it's much different than trying to do a fine print. Like, because remember, all of that's done with thread. So it takes some skill to get that right.
And that right there is the reason why the AHRA logo is not on that hat.
That's exactly right.
Because although we could create the shape at that small size, you would never, ever get that thread to read the letters AHRA correctly.
Right. So that was a trade-off.
It was better to take it off than to deface it, for lack of a better word.
That's right. 2 different styles. Nothing says you can't have one of each. What little bit we make on apparel, of course, goes into the event.
Yep.
But that said, we just wanted to give you guys some offerings. Of course, now I don't plan to keep a lot of this kind of stuff on hand, but that said, I do plan and have in stock now these, so I can fulfill these from here. You can get them on the Gunslinger Graphics website right now if you like.
Do you have those hats listed on the No Name National website too, John?
Not yet. Like I said, I got these literally 1 day ago.
Yeah, I think they were delivered yesterday.
They're not on the site yet, but they will go up. They're in stock here. And the reason we keep T-shirts, banners, stickers, and hats here, because if we give them away, I want to be able to fulfill it, so I keep that on hand. But the higher end stuff, like we might do polos and stuff like that, we're going to be adding a women's shirt because we just need to have one. But yeah, so that kind of stuff you'll be getting from Gunslinger Graphics.
And to that point, I don't know how many women we have in the chat right now, but you and I had talked on the phone a couple of times about polling the girls for what style of shirt they would like to see us offer them.
We'll do something like that. We'll be adding that. New City Carpet's got an interesting question. This is a good one we have with Tony here. What's your thoughts on running slicks with minimum air pressure? 8 pounds is the absolute. Well, I'll just say your air pressure is dictated by your tuning needs.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Depending on the weight of the car, 8 pounds is good. And some points in a slick tire be a little high even. Drag radials, on the other hand, like a little bit higher pressure. Like for instance, my 4,000 plus pound, 700 and some odd horsepower truck, I run 17 pounds of air pressure in a drag radial, which is a big. And that's a big tire. It's a 315/60, which is a roughly a 30 by 1250. But the radials behave different. Yeah, slicks like low pressure. Just when you're running slicks, always run screws.
Yeah, that's
always run screws because otherwise.
If you're going to run them tubeless, you can get away with it. If you're going to run a tube, you must run screws. Yeah. Barkley, Just Mopar Joe had a valve stem tear from running tubes without screws last year, I think. Barkley had a valve stem rip out of his and had a tire go flat on the track from he launched it and had one tear. So yeah, if you're going to run tubes, you must run rim screws.
And the reason for that is that the slicks like such a low pressure to get the traction that there's not a lot of force holding the tire to the beat of the rim, and the rims will spin.
No Name National dog and cat sweaters. I don't know about that. I will say this: Jethro does have a No Name National shirt. It's a youth shirt, and it's a one-off. He's kind of outgrown it a little bit, so they'd get him a bigger one.
I don't know about pet clothing, but I am kicking around the idea of doing koozies and coffee mugs with the No Name Nationals logo. I have finally purchased the equipment to be able to do the koozies and the mugs here in-house 100%.
Unfinished Project said, I wonder if anybody'd think I flipped if I went to LA via Omaha. Okay.
Right out of a Charlie Daniels song, The Uneasy Rider.
M&H Bias Fly. It's an old school tire. Travis's Mopar Garage. He's at work.
Travis.
Mrs. Go likes to wear gearhead shirts as V-neck, sleeveless, or traditional tank. Yeah, we're thinking something a little different, something like that.
Yeah, we could offer sleevelesses too. That's no problem. It's the same process to make them, and I get them all day long from my vendors.
You said your truck has a big tire, more like schmedium? Yeah, Bob Bryan.
Oh, you hush, Brian. Anything over a 28-10-5 is considered a big tire.
I don't use screws because they weigh a pound for each rim. No tubes either. Okay, you can do that. No, but that's fine. But
as long as you're tubeless.
I do recommend if you're going to run your tires tubeless, take dishwashing liquid and wipe the inside of them down really good. It helps seal the pores, keeps the air in them.
Yep, slicks do not like to hold air.
No Name Nationals iron-on patches. That's a maybe. You know what? I just don't know how popular patches are in 2024, but it's a maybe. It's a maybe. We do plan to expand a little bit.
Yeah, and that is a very distinct possibility too.
Yeah. There's no magic air pressure number. It's all in the suspension weight of the car and all. Exactly. So the air pressure is going to be dictated by your tuning.
Yep.
Anyone take out a UFO drone tonight? Nope, not yet. There's nothing wrong with patches. Patches hold up. Well, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just I don't know how popular they are now. Our demographic here is about 96, 97% 45 to 65-year-old male. That's our demographic here. And then about 4 or 5% is everything and everyone else. So our demographic probably does like patches more than most.
Yeah, I can do professional grade heat applied patches. How they would apply with a conventional household iron, I don't know. I'm sure they would stick. They probably just wouldn't stick as well as they would if they were applied in my machine that's made for applying them.
Here's
But
a good,
I do have the means to create a professional grade heat applied embroidered patch. So
here's a good
it is
question
not.
old McDonald has for you, Tony. He's asking, do you make shirts in long for us guys trying to hide our spare tire? Why don't you talk about sizing when people order stuff from Gunslinger Graphics in general?
Something like that, yes, I can get longs. It's not something that I put on the website. It's not something that's just straight out offered. That would be more of a custom order. They usually run, a couple $3 more. It's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, for something like that, if you want anything off the website, especially printed on a long, uh, go ahead and reach out to me, via email. I can certainly accommodate you there.
LSS Drone Photography says, remember, do not shoot at a drone. That's a federal offense. It's the same thing as shooting at an airplane. You'll go to prison if caught. There is a guy down in Florida, I believe, who shot at a delivery drone. He just shot at it, and they did arrest him. So, yeah.
The delivery drone.
Yeah.
Jeez.
One-Eyed Cat says, speaking of drag radials, we need a set of 245/60/14s. Any recommendations? This is a good one. So for those of you in the chat who have experience running drag radials.
I'm not sure if they offer them, but I absolutely love my Mickey Thompson ET Street Pros.
Now, One-Eyed Cat,
And they're reasonably priced.
Are you just trying to get that size because that's what you borrowed from Polito? Because I got to tell you, you probably would open up your world a little bit if you ran a 15. And also, too, if you're going to change the rear end gear, you may not need a tire that short. That's a short little tire you've got there.
Yeah, 245/60/14. If he put it on went to a 15-inch wheel, he could run like a 26/9 slick or drag radial.
That's a 25.57-inch tall tire.
Yep, that's what I was just saying, about a 26/9 slick.
Yeah, that's all the room you've got. Exactly. Run a. You know what, Don? You could run a 26/8.5. That's practically what you have there.
Yeah, 26/8.5, and you could put that on a Mopar 15x7 Steely.
Yep. But I'll tell you, Don, you really need to just add more gear to your car too. I would add a touch more gear and get a little bit taller tire if you can run it. It'll help you tune a little bit too, a taller tire.
If he's got the wheel well for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is an A body, but it's an early A body, and it's completely different with the round. It's not like the 67 to 76 A body.
Yep.
And unfinished projects reminding you, if caught on the drone. But this is this modern day and time. Nobody can get away with anything. New Cities, I gladly take out a drone, but I don't want heat signature from the ground. Depends what the drone is, of course. No one's shooting at Steve's drones, but
yeah, the drag radials that I run, I just looked them up. They're only offered in the 315/60 and the 275/60/15.
Never done projects. I do recommend, if you're interested in drone stuff, go over to LSS Drone Photography here. Go over and check out Steve's channel, and it's a good one. Drone footage is awesome. Yeah, check out his channel.
Yeah, it
It's a
is.
good place to ask your questions too. 14-inch slicks and drag radials, whatever, limited choice. Yes, they are very limited. My go-to 14 was a 26 by 8.5 Mickey Thompson ET drag.
Yep.
And I ran that on a 5.5-inch wide, yes, 5.5-inch wide rally wheel. And no, it didn't fit right, but it kept it off of an unmodified A-body wheel well. And that was a really common thing. A lot of dudes with factory Dart wheel wells ran that combination.
The current offerings for Mickey Thompson and a drag radial don't include anything in a 14. I've got the website up right now.
14-inch Honda. Yeah, I'd say a lot of people do run that on a Honda too. Needs a 235 6015 dragger. Exactly. I agree.
Yep.
I agree, James.
I think Hoosier makes a 235/60 in a drag radial.
I'm running the 245 again. Yeah. I mean, you can run it. I think you would probably get a little more out of it going to a little more gear in your car and taking the taller tire if you could. Because when you put the new engine in, you start adding more power, it's going to change some things.
Well, I got a big tire and a tall gear in a truck, and look how it runs, but it's
Yeah.
got a boatload of power.
You can run any tire with a saw. This is true.
I mean, it ain't no 245, but it's 355s in the truck, which is a tall gear.
Shoot your truck, Steve. Evans Mopar Scott says, to be in the Tunnel Ram Mafia or the Six-Pack Syndicate, does ownership of them count, or do they have to go down the track at the No Name Nationals to be initiated in that group? I will tell you, if just ownership counted, there'd be a whole lot more people in this club of lawn chair talk about it warriors. I really think that something's got to be like functional.
Yeah.
It's like
agree.
if you talk about your motorcycle and motorcycle club, you are Brian Cabral. If you actually are out riding your motorcycle, you are somebody better. If you don't know who he is, you're not missing anything. The dude went out and took a video or picture of someone else's motorcycle under a tarp and was talking about it like it's his. We've been saying the cat needs a new. Yes, it does. He's running like a 245 gear and a 7 1/4. Tony, he runs a 440 powered 62 Valiant with a 7 1/4 and 245 gears with drag radials. Is he asking to break something or what?
Mm-hmm.
Your new engine will snap that rear end like a twig.
Well, the stock 440 would too, as long if it gets the drag radials. I could break that axle with a 318.
You're going to break. You'll break it, Don. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. You put those drag radials on that car with your new motor, my transmission on there, you will break it.
Yeah, and you will break it on the very first hit.
Yeah.
You won't even make a pass.
Not much. I haven't watched that kind of very long time. Oh, my.
It's like you and I both know, John. You put some traction to that, a 318 would break that axle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Is it the ratio that the brake? No, the rear end is pretty weak at the Spider gears, and it's just a small rear end. It's a commuter car rear. They're not hard to break. I mean, I punished one pretty hard, but I got to tell you, really, he needs an upgrade. An 8 1/4 would probably do everything he needs it to do.
The 7 1/4 was really meant. It was never meant to go behind anything bigger than a slant 6.
I guess we could adopt Ray for the Six-Pack Syndicate with a 3.2 barrel GM deal.
Yeah, still multiple carburation.
Never Done asks kind of off the wall question for No Name Nationals. Will we be able to camp on site? Yes, and most people do.
Yeah.
I think my 275 6015 is a 28-inch tire. It is. It's That's the
Basically.
equivalent of 28 10.5. So guys who are running a P metric tire size in a 28 10.5 class run a 275 60 15.
Well, adding that, going down to that 26-inch
Yeah.
tire would give you the effect of putting a deeper gear in the rear end. Not much, but it would help.
DNR says, is that old 7 1/4 get a later Dakota 8 1/4? I don't know how the Dakota 8 1/4 bolts up. They do make an A body 8 1/4. That's really what would
Yeah,
bolt right around the 43-inch
that's really
frame.
what he wants to do,
Yeah.
unless he's got access to a welder, because he's certain a Dakota rear would go under it, but he'd certainly have to move the perches.
Yeah. You can get an A body 8. That's what you should do. Is get an A body 8 1/4. It's not that bad. I mean, the 8 3/4 is pretty expensive, but the 8 1/4 is not. Never Done says, awesome. Yeah, man. Most people, I would say slightly more people camp than don't. And it's very lively there at night. People doing bonfires and stuff like that. And it's a good place to camp. They got shower houses. It's good stuff.
I'd bet money somebody in this community probably has an A body 8 1/4 laying around. They'd sell
Probably
Don
so.
for a reasonable price.
That's what Don needs. Gosh, Don, any gear that comes in that thing is going to be an upgrade for you. A 276 will feel like an upgrade for you.
Right.
It really, dude, if you could find one from a 6-cylinder car that had a 323 from the factory,
That'd be nice.
man, you really feel like you're launching hard with that.
But to find a 6-cylinder car with an 8 3/4, that or 8 1/4 rather, that's going to be difficult too, because most of them got the 7 1/4.
Yeah, camping at No Name Nationals is great. I've done both. I've stayed hotel. I've camped on site. The weather is perfect for camping. Well, you have to figure it's all relative to get your tire and gear ratio go hand in hand through city carbon. And what you can do is it's not necessarily your actual ratio so much as it is comparing one to another. So if you want to see how it affects, tire height versus rear gear, you can run those combinations. Jay says you can find B body rear ends that'll fit an A body without moving a purchase. I believe 68 to 70. You can do a little bit of grinding and make it fit because it's only a half-inch different per side. So you can do that, but remember, I mean, the car's already narrower than a 67 A body.
I'd just move the perches. It's not that difficult.
Even with a little bit warmer weather, it was still fine at night. J body cars have the 8 1/4, yeah.
Biggest deal with moving the perches is you got to get your pinion angle back right when you weld the new ones in place.
You just have to spread the springs a little. Yeah.
Yeah, wore out bushings will help you there.
Yeah. I'm happy with 323. I'm breaking this first. It's a matter of principle. Yeah, you'll break it. No doubt about it. Grampito Vic's got the rockers and push rods done. Long block is done.
I'd actually be willing to bet he twists an axle before he breaks the chunk.
Yeah, probably. 7 1/4 is it's pretty small, but it's a great commuter rear end. So if you don't plan on trying to hook it up on a track with slicks or something, it's fine. You can run them forever. 355s are perfect for street and strip. 355s actually, it's a little deep for the highway. Now we have 70, 75 mile an hour speed limits.
Max Wedge looks like he's off. He's got a housing for Don.
There you go, Don.
$100, another probably 3 for a ring and pinion, and set it up.
Is it an 8 1/4?
Then you get to choose your ratio because you got to put one in it.
Max Wedge, Dick Dastardly, is that an A body 8 1/4? Because that would be perfect. Would the pinion angle remain the same? Yeah, sure should. Or about right. Yeah, you get to see the monkey bike slow race if you can. That's right.
Go get you a $25 digital angle finder off Amazon or Home Depot, and you check it before you take the old one out, and you check it when you put the new one in. And if it's not the same, you can wedge them. You can get pinion adjustment wedges. Hell, Calvert makes them. Everybody makes them. They're like $20.
Lovejoy says he couldn't make the stream tonight. Oh, well, if you put up a link, Connor, that's why it didn't appear. He couldn't make the stream tonight, but my co-host Hunter made a channel, and he's a No Name Nationals hopeful. His channel is Typical Racer 09. I will say this, registration is already open. And you've never had more time to get your 500 subs with open registration than you have this year. 279 days, 2 hours, 55 and a half minutes. I would recommend he register, and that's not being self-serving. It's because when it's on my main page, that's where people go to see who's registered. And it will actually get you more help.
Gets the publicity. Max Wedge says it's an 8 3/4.
Yeah. I told Max Wedge Dick Dashley bring that thing to No Name Nationals. I'd have bought from him.
It's an 8 3/4 cornet housing, he said, is that housing.
So it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be too wide. You really need to find an A body, like an A body 8 1/4 will be perfect, Don.
It wouldn't be so wide that he couldn't make it up with offset wheels, though.
Yeah, you could. I'm just saying, it's what you need is not too hard to find to get it.
You get a 15x8 with like a 5.5-inch backspace.
Dougster Wolverine Garage is the announcer for the slow monkey bike race. Wrong English says we have angle finders from work.
There you go. That's even better. You don't have to buy one.
Dust Devil Brian says, I have a 67 B body rear of my Duster. Yeah, but the back end of your car is like 148 inches wide. So, you know.
Well, look at the wheels.
The car barely fits on the road.
He's got 14-inch. He's got 14-inch wheels on the thing.
Yeah, NSB's going to a Dana, I believe, in their Dart, their Lenco Dart.
It's a smart move.
It's 1 inch wider than the Dart. It's 1 inch on the spring purchase wider. It's more than that at the drums. Well, cool. Well, it's 9:06. It's time to give some stuff away. We got 57 people in here. Tony, do you have any ideas on how we're going to do it? Let's give away a hat. We want to do this. Like, there's a lot of people in here.
Well, let's do some sort of trivia. I don't have anything in mind, but you're pretty good with that.
Oh, how are we going to do this? I think
I did put up a short yesterday. What year is the Jeepster?
All right. Who's there was the first person to get the year of the Jeepster on Tony's channel is going to win a hat. Just like that. So the question is, do you take a wild guess or do you go watch it? Tony's going to have to call it. Ooh, the guesses are flying in.
I just texted you the answer, and looks like NSB got it.
Well, let's make sure.
NSB got 1948, so make sure nobody else got it before.
Make sure nobody else got it first.
Yeah, I don't see any. Yeah, it looks like.
Oh, Dougster missed it by a year.
What was Dougster? Oh, 49.
Oh, he was close. Grandma Vic said 47.
No such thing. 48 was the first year for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like NSB's the winner. Lars won. Lars got it also, but he was 2 comments late.
He watches. Well, it paid to watch. So there you go. NSB's going to win a hat.
He just watched it before the live.
That's it. That's it. He did his homework. Evans Mopars is asking, Don, go to any junkyard and get a Ford Explorer and an 8.8. Yeah, you can do that. You have to change.
That's actually a good idea because you can get them for $100.
And you can do that, and then you put Ford stuff in your Mopar. But I know a lot of people do that because it's the fad right now. I get it, all that, but it's still Ford stuff in your Mopar. So not for me, but if it's for thee, knock yourself out.
The cheap alternative, put it that way.
Nothing wrong with an 8.8. It's just I do not put Ford parts in Mopars. That's just me.
I have been known to put Mopar parts in Fords.
Yeah. That's called an upgrade. Lots of gears. Yeah, you can find. Yeah, that's fine. There's a lot of people who've done it. In fact, if you want to see a video on somebody who's done that in an A body, Dark Freak 75 channel put an 8.8 in his 75 Swinger. You can see it there.
I love an easy swap.
Jeep Liberty rear. Yeah. There's another possibility. The Jeep Liberty rear. They did put an 8 1/4 in the early Liberty. Yeah. And they were.
I think that's going to pose another problem for Don too, because at Jeep Liberty or most of those 8.8s are going to have disc brakes on them,
and you got to move them. You can purchase.
Well, he'll have to. Yeah. I think that's 4-wheel drum on his still, ain't it? He hadn't upgraded the fronts to disc, has he?
No, I think it is disc on the front.
Okay, well, that wouldn't be so bad then. He put a master on it like what I got on my truck.
Yeah. I just want something that fits that can break next. Yeah, and then that 66 Dart that Buff and Kim has the 8.8 in the back. They did it. That's right. There's another one. If you want to see another video on doing the 8.8 in an A-body Mopar, there you go. I mean, that only became a thing when the A-body rears became so expensive at 8 3/4.
For that matter, a Ford 9-inch, if you can find them in the wrecking yard, you can get cheap too. But
9-inch takes a lot of power to run, but it is very strong.
They do.
Thinking about the 8.8 early Ranger 60 and drum. Cat needs to upgrade to a dual port, but yes, you do. Dude, you should have already done that. Frizzell's 9-inch, never thinking. Well, yeah, you won't break it.
Don says disc front dual pot coming this year. Yeah. Just get that strange master cylinder, Don. They're like $110. It's the one that I've got on my truck. It's modeled after the later model Mopar aluminum master cylinders. Small bore, so it works good manual without power assist.
You can do that. You can't. They also make the Mopar performance one, but the big thing that you want is make sure you get one that on the front chamber for the rear brakes has the little residual proportion, has a little residual valve that keeps pressure on there for drums. It'll have one on the front half of the master and not the back half, because the back half runs the front brakes. Also, you want one with a small piston and longer travel as opposed to a big piston and shorter travel.
That's why I suggested the strange unit, because it has the smaller piston in it. They don't offer it with the residual valve built in. That's why on my truck, you see I have the residual valve plumbed just past the master cylinder. You can buy those. It's 10 PSI residual pressure valves. They're like $13. You just plumb them in.
Yep.
And I looked like I seen Brian ask if I'm going live. Yes, I am.
And then what they do is they keep enough pressure on all that hardware in the drum brakes.
It doesn't push the fluid.
Yeah, so that you're not fighting back through all of that every time you hit the pedal. But you really need that dual. And I'll tell you, and I know you're not going to find this. Well, I'll tell you one place you can get it. The Ram Man is a guy who sells a reproduction of it. A factory 68 charger manual disc master cylinder. You're not going to find that anywhere, but that is a factory one that has all of those things.
Yep.
68 charger manual disc brake. It's an
Can you even buy them anymore?
No. The Ram Man reproduces that casting, and he sells them, but that's what it's based on. And I have one. I actually, if I had known it was going to come up tonight, I'd have brought it in here. Later, Grandma Vic. Although, we're going to wait just a few more minutes. I'm going to give away another sweatshirt.
Lars has thrown up the link for my after this. I think you set it up, John, didn't you? As soon as you shut down, isn't it going to redirect?
I don't know if it'll
anyway?
redirect, but go. Tony's going to be live after this here in 45 minutes. Tony will be on live. It'll be a good time if you want to get into more tech, especially about all the new merch that we're going to do. I'm going to give away a sweatshirt here, though. Still got 53 in here, so
nice.
Let's give one away. What do you think?
It's your turn.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here thinking about it. We were glad you're here. Is it the Chrysler 9 1/4 Dana 60 an option from Dodge or a 1-ton Ford E350 van?
The Ford van rear ends are different, so no. And the Dana 60 is actually a 9 3/4 inch ring gear. The Chrysler 9 1/4 is a different rear end, but that is an option.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Dougster, are you still in here? Let me know. We're going to give away a Gildan hoodie like this. Dougster's in here. All right. This is going to be for a Gildan hoodie. Dougster, I want you to text me your answer, and I want you to give us a good trivia question. And at 9:20, in 5 minutes, we're going to give away a hoodie. All you got to do is win it and get me an address. That sounds like something right up Dougster Wolverine Garage's alley right there.
Oh, yeah.
Thought we were giving JB away. Well, we could, but we don't want to pay to ship him. We thought about it. Mustang 2 8 inches, 56 drum to drum removable center. Yeah. The 8 inch is pretty popular. Not a lot of people build them though, I guess, because there's a 9 inch.
That Ford 8 inch is actually a relatively tough rear end also.
Dana 60s are expensive. Yes, they are.
Yeah, I've got the original Dana 60 that came out of the truck that I'm eventually going to cut down and change over to a car axle setup. Probably put it in the Charger.
I'll take an extra large because the Sphinx the dryer will fit perfect for me. Well, you're going to have a chance to win one right now. I told Dougster we'll do it at 9:20. So Dougster is crunching around working on this.
Old man in the shop is in the house. Didn't see him, Mark.
Both ran an 8 inch Ford in my Cougar with that Chevy engine. Yeah. That's a neat looking car. All right. So Dougster has sent me what I presume to be an answer.
At Dust Devil says the Mopar 9 1/4. I think that's when it's. Those are good rears. They're actually real strong.
The 9 1/4 is good. It's a C-clip rear with a flat roller bearing axle. But I'll tell you what, it's strong. It's really strong.
Well, it's also not that difficult to eliminate the C-clips in them.
So Dougster has sent me the answer. That way I can be to check for it. So Dougster, at 9:20, because that's the time we told him, I want you to go ahead and pop that in.
Here says JB's little shop would need more postage with that beard.
All right, y'all. So in 1 minute, we're going to be giving away. We're giving away a Gildan hoodie. Nine and a quarters BRG runs. Yeah, he does. Nine and a quarters stout. It's really stout. You should compare those to a Dana 60.
Well, the Dana 60 is a 9 3/4. So it's a bigger ring gear yet. But
Lars's beard is fake. He velcros it on every morning.
Smart Alec. We got our trivia question yet? Oh, there it is. Dougster Woodring Garage. There it is.
When was Hastings Piston Rings founded? What year? First person who can tell us the year of the founding of Hastings Piston Rings will win that Gildan hoodie in their size. 1912, 1946, 1934, 38. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Now, I know I have seen the correct answer. Let me verify who got it first. Danny boy, that teens are you can't answer. That's like measuring something with a micrometer and cutting it with an axe. Trying to get 2 decades in your answer. No. Looks like the first to get it, beating Unfinished Project by Hair, is Lee, NSB Custom Cars. Look at this. These are always the first 3 people to everything.
Yep.
Right here. But it's going to be Lee, NSB Customs. He wins
for the win twice.
Lee, let me know what size. Coming to you, man. Bangladesh. What year? Answer, Bangladesh. Oh, goodness. The Battle of Hastings. Yeah, I love this. They devolve into wrong answers so quickly.
Right. I will say the one notable feature of the Gildan over the nicer Port Company is the Gildan is available for the bigger dudes in a 5X, where the Port and Company stops at a 4X.
And the Gildan is a nice hoodie. I have several Gildan hoodies. They're nice. I'm just wearing the Port. I can't wear 2 at one time. So I'm wearing the Port right now. It was fun. That seemed like something Dougster would be all over. Any new updates for No Name or still same info? We're going to announce the event 2 weeks from now on December 27th.
Grand Peter says my Alexa was on a coffee break.
See, I don't know in the age of Siri and Alexa how well that does. You know what? I'm going to try it with Siri right now. Let's try it. Siri, what year was Hastings Piston Rings founded? No such luck. Didn't go.
Hey, Google. what year Hastings Pistons. Google got it right.
Siri didn't. I'm surprised.
Grant Petovich
Old
says, see,
McDonald,
she's
everybody got the same answer, so I'm assuming I got it right. Here we go. Lars has Dean's short for the shirt.
Oh, I have not seen that.
Google for the win. Yeah, most of the time. Old man Google for the win. Yeah. You calling Tony an old man, Lars?
Right?
Tony and I are the same age, and we're old. Max Wedge says, let me pick the question next time. Bangladesh will be right for first time in my life. Okay. You never know. We may use a Max Wedge Dick Dastardly question.
I just watched that short. Dean was digging that shirt. On a rainy day, it looks like.
Dean and his upside down shirt. That is correct. There's one of those in existence, and it belongs to Dean. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try to show it on here. Dean did an unboxing of the Wild shirt. Now, got shown several shirts. Hadn't shown the shirt though.
That short that Lars just shared shows Dean wearing the shirt and he's dancing in the rain.
Oh, well, it's a different short that Dean sent me. Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, go to the short that Lars posted in the chat here. I just watched it. It's cool.
If I could do that as a link, I would. I don't think it'll let me.
Yeah, you just share it. Just present. Just open it up or I can do it, and then you can just
do that because I'm on StreamYard, and to me the links aren't clickable. Yeah, if you do that, I'll put it up. Thank you.
Let me go back and find it again. Okay. Present. Screen.
Smoke Wrench Sean. All right, here we go. So there's Dean's shirt. So Dean needed to stand on his head in this because obviously in New Zealand he's upside down. So just turn your computer over to watch that properly. That shirt is right side up for us. Everything else in the picture is upside down.
Right.
It's just like this is America. We speak English, and this is America. We print the shirts for Americans. So. Anytime you try to do a trivia question, there's always that. You know what this reminds me of? This craziness here. There is a dude who likes to argue about. Okay, Tony, who is the first president of the United States?
George Washington.
Well, there's this dude who likes to argue whoever that was the temporary president over the Articles of Confederation. Well, I mean, I get it. There's always that loophole. The first shared screen. Oh, it's not true. That's not true. If you go back and watch, I had Drag Boss Tim Halstead on a live years ago, and I did a shared screen with him doing a monster wheelie in his Cougar. He had one tire on the track and about hit the wall in that thing at Norwalk. And that was a shared screen on my channel.
Well, you guys just stay tuned because Mr. Wilburn's lives are going to start getting a whole bunch cooler.
I am making serious technological upgrades.
One of the guys
recently, and got more coming.
One of the guys on this screen here has been educating John in some of this technological crap.
Getting some schooling and some stuff.
And that same guy is going to build him a pretty badass little laptop.
Yeah, I got some cool things in the works.
I don't know if you saw the comment, John, but Dougster said he had another trivia question if you were up for another giveaway.
I do. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
Did you see that? I just didn't know if you caught it or not.
At 9:40, I'm gonna wait till 9:40 because I like the people who hang out later into the live because Tony goes live right after us.
Yep.
So you definitely want to go for the after party, man. See, Tony's live. You could do a lot more stuff over there, right? Because Tony's a honey badger. So at 9:40, we're going to give away another hat.
Yeah, when I'm on Wilburn's live, I feel like Cope did when he filled in.
Yeah, right. Right. Nepal is above India. Well, that's a very Peckerwood Customs-like thing to know. Jason's Garage Inc. says, howdy, folks. How's it going?
Racing and Tony's Honey Badger, we have to ensure John's love of Dodgery websites don't catch him out. My dumbass.
Danny Boy says, I'm wearing my No Name National shirt today. I was wearing it this morning. He pulled 2 outlets out of the baseboard. Oh, lovely. Well, it doesn't have insulation to protect you from that, so.
Speaking of the Honey Badger will be joining the Tunnel Ram Mafia for next year.
That's what I hear. Oh, Don says the seasonal hours at Wendy's work are until 10 p.m. for Wendy now. She's bummed she can't make the live. Oh, man. Ooh. Well, I'll tell you what. That's temporary. It'll pass. Steve's wearing his shirt now, right on. Well, I will tell you, we've got the new merch. It's over at the link pinned at the top, Gunslinger Graphics site right there. You will see these hats being added to the No Name National site. That will be happening. And, of course, they will be at the No Name Nationals at the event. May have some hoodies at No Name Nationals, but I will say we will have the hats. We'll have the T-shirts, stickers, and all that. But we want to give you guys an option, to order some different stuff. So it's coming. Mater, you should just do it. Just go over there and put some cash in his face. If you're going to do it, you're like the only dude in the world who might buy it. Why don't you go over there with like $150 and just in hand? You can't just tell him about it. He's got to be able to see it. Let him see that green cotton linen looking paper, right? And it's like all he's got to do is just take it. And it's money in his pocket, and that thing that he trims around goes away. I found with people sometimes the way to get somebody to bite on a deal is to make it really easy for them to take it. Yeah, cashing is, I'm telling you, for real. When you want to make a cheap offer, have the paper cash in your hand. This is correct. Cash in his face. Get it done. That's right, Mater, if you want to do it. But that said, the most important thing is we just want to see you at the No Name Nationals. So make that happen. All right. So I've now received the answer to be looking for. And at 9:40, Dougster Wolverine Garage is going to pop up a question to win another Flex Fit No Name Nationals hat. These are really freaking cool. They sold out quick at Sykeston. So we'll have more. We'll have more there. But we're going to have them here. Give a few away. I know it's a tight timeline now, so I wouldn't count on anything but Christmas. But that said, hey, not saying you can't order it. Not always, JW. It becomes a contest of personalities. Not sure exactly what that goes with. I can't think that many seconds back ago, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, on the bartering thing. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. But what I will say is it generally almost always makes it easier to deal when you make a deal easier to take. This is why people make impulse purchases at cash registers. This is why people use QR codes, because the easier you make it to make a decision, the more likely people are to do it.
Yep. QR codes are extremely handy.
The honey badger is a beast. Yes. That truck's
wait till it gets that tunnel ram on it.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of that, if anybody's got a decent set of 660s for sale, reach out.
So Tony's looking for a set of 660 Hollies, which is the 4-barrel made for the tunnel ram. You usually see them for sale in pairs.
If I don't find a decent pair of them, we're going to go with VRSs on it. Oh, I wonder if Jeff does have a set of them. I should reach out to him.
Jeff had some 450s. I almost bought from him.
Yeah, 450s. It'd be too small for that engine.
Well, I was thinking of them for something else.
Well, I'm talking about for me, for the honey badger.
Carb King might help. I don't know. I mean,
if somebody in the community's got a good set they want to sell reasonable, I'd be interested. Yep. Otherwise, we're just going to put a couple of brand new VRSs on it.
And Tony can work with cores, but, prefer.
Yeah, I don't want some wore out pile of crap that I got to put bushings and shafts and everything in. Right. By the time I spend all that money, I can just buy a brand new set.
When we say core, we say core, we mean a good core, not something that's been laying in a puddle half in and out of water for 20 years.
Exactly.
Justin O'Brien suggests calling Jed. Maybe. Bader says, what are the casting numbers for big block Mopar exhaust manifolds, and are they worth anything? I'd go to a book and just look it up. I don't know. That's a good question for Max Wedge Dick Dastardly, actually. Some of these boys here might know. I tell you, I don't really know an awful lot about big blocks in general. I'm a small block guy.
Yeah, copy that, Brian. I did think of Jed.
B&R says for rents to $7,000, I'd go a pair of 660s. Well, yeah, because 660s you generally run in pairs.
Mm-hmm.
They're designed to run in pairs on a tunnel ram.
And it will be a pair of them on. Yeah. What we're doing is an FE adapter plate with a Cleveland 4V YN tunnel ram is what's actually going to go on it.
I'm still learning about big blocks. I want to learn new stuff about things for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I understand every word of this. I'm glad you do, because I don't. E-body manifolds are worth money. Everything for an E-body is worth money. I know some of these words. Right on. Then you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, for that carb B&R, we're definitely going to stick with multiple carburation. I don't disagree that it would probably perform better with a single large dominator on it, but we are going to stick with dual quads.
But it's going to look freaking cool, and that's a good
Exactly.
reason to do it.
Exactly. I mean, it already looks cool, but it's just going to look cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already got dual quads on it. It's already got two 500 CFM old school Carters on it, but, which aren't quite enough. And that's why we got to change carburetors at all. The carburetors that are on it now aren't quite enough. It leans out on the top end as it is. And that manifold that's on it, as cool as it looks, is probably the worst performing thing you could ever bolt on an FE Ford.
Dr. Go's got a good question here, and I'm just going to wait until after Dougster pops up a question for us, a trivia question. We'll get Dr. Go's. We'll come back for it. But Don's thankful for what he's got from the No Name Nationals, helped his car come along. Well, Don, you did that. Dougster says, question, who is the founder of the Coleman Lantern Company? Full name, please.
Oh.
Meaning all of the name, which I would presume could be a first, middle, last, or whatever. All right. I'm going to wait just a minute to declare a winner. We're going to give it just a little bit of time to declare a winner. And I'll tell you why. Because I enjoy the Schadenfreude theater of wrong answer only. Okay. UP wins this. UP wins a hat. All right. Cool, man. Congratulations. Now you can pull this down and hide your face, with this. See? Coming to you. William Coffin Coleman. It's a very Dougster-like question and answer. What you talking about, Willis? We're talking about Coleman Lantern Company founder. Not Coleman Piston Rings. Coleman Lantern Company founder. Oh, Steve, you're close. Got to keep trying. Oh, look at this. Now, you know what? Here's the best part of this, Tony. 10 minutes from now, somebody who's let their stream get buffered back is going to reply and think they got it.
Right.
Because they're not going to see it in the chat. I've had that happen before.
Happens all the time.
Something 220, I think it was. Nope. Bangladesh, nope. Camaro, nope.
There, we'll hone your sharing StreamYard skills again for a minute and show this.
I've always been able to do it. It's just needing the hardware to do it. Look at that. That's a nice piece.
Yeah.
I like that.
See, back in the day with the FE Fords, we used to, you had to get out the mills and just build this.
Here comes Dallas with his elbow from the top rope to. Just kidding. Couldn't resist that one. You know what that is? That's a receipt for me doing that on Wednesdays right there.
There you go.
Love it. Love it. Anyway, sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's fine. But back in the day, they didn't.
Is that a Cleveland? Is that a Cleveland tunnel ram?
Stuff. What's that?
Yeah, a Cleveland tunnel ram?
That is a Cleveland 4-valve tunnel ram. And you can still buy that manifold new. But what's nice now is there's a company that makes that lower and you can buy it rather than having to build it. And it's reasonable. That what you see right there, I can buy that. I can and am going to buy brand new both pieces for a grand total of about $1,300. And then, of course, those of us that know FE Fords, that brand new lower will go directly to the machine shop to be cut to fit. But yeah, that's what's coming to the Honey Badger.
Right on. Andy just got here. Andy, you missed us giving away some merch. Gave away a couple
Andy
hats.
got here
Gave away a hoodie. So
Andy got here just in time to see that.
You know what we didn't give away, and we should. And Andy reminds me of this. Have we given away too much tonight? Should we do this a different night? Or you know what? Let's do it on Tony's. We'll do the same thing on Tony's. How about that?
Yeah, we'll see who was paying attention here. I've already got the question.
You know what? Okay, so you want me to tell them what we talked about doing? What we're going to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Go ahead.
We'll take this over to Tony. So you got to go over to Tony's Hot Rod Garage for this. But what we're going to do is we're going to have, and of course, the No Name Nationals will be included in this too, if you wanted. But that said, we want to spread it around. We're going to have a giveaway for a shirt or hat of regular stock item, of course, from whomever your favorite content creator is who sells their merch at gunslingergraphics.com. So it's going to be your choice. So which means it's not just limited to No Name Nationals. It could be No Name Nationals. It could be Tony's Hot Rod Garage. It could be Unity Motorsports Garage. It could be, you could have a Ryan Barr's Nest shirt. You could have Scott's Shop, Dust Devil Garage.
Our latest edition, Stephen Holtz, Just Drive It.
Stephen Holtz.
That is for those of you that haven't seen it, that is a really cool shirt. Steven's shirt.
That's it. So go over to Tony's Hot Rod Garage. Now, what time? Do you want to tell them here what time and then just ambush the ones that come over to yours as an incentive for them to have been here first?
What you mean, what time we're going to do the giveaway? Yeah. We'll do it at 8:30 my time.
All right.
So 30 minutes in.
All right. 30 minutes into Tony's Live. That's a killer deal. Yeah.
You could even have one of the Cope Transmatic shirts.
You can. CRT merch over there, too.
Nostalgic. That's nostalgia right there.
Jeray's here, says, hello, John and everyone. Hope everyone's doing good. It's a great Christmas. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming by. We appreciate you. Like to see your lime green avatar flow through the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good to see Ricky. Steven's shirt is awesome. Yeah. By the way, I love the back of Steven's shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna do another screen share here, John.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna do it my low tech way, but Coke was wearing his Transmatic shirt. Yeah. Yeah, it is a really cool retro shirt. All right. This is the back of Steven's shirt. I would like to think that the No Name Nationals helped encourage this. It says, cars are tools that connect us to the important things in life, people. So I really like that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool shirt.
Yeah. Stephen Holtz.
He's actually at PRI with a bunch of them now.
Yep. Yeah, Tony really treats our people right. So, but anyway, any of the regular stock stuff, shirts or hats of your favorite content creator, you're going to have a chance to win over Tony's Hot Rod Garage, that live stream from Gunslinger Graphics, any of that stuff, 30 minutes into his live. So we're going to wrap this one on time here in about 11 minutes.
Yeah, and then we'll just roll right into mine. I'm all set, ready to flip the switch. I figured I'd throw the Transmatic one up there for a second, too. That's just a cool shirt.
2 Axes on his way home from PRI, yeah. It's only a 3-hour drive for him. Yeah, it's probably 9 for me or so. It's pretty good haul. Dallas is in the house. Yes, indeed. Dallas, you got a chance to win a shirt or hat from your favorite content creator over Gunslinger Graphics on the Tony's Hot Rod Garage live after this.
Speaking of Dallas, you said something the other night. He was talking about shirts. I missed all the Wednesday night lives.
Yeah, Dallas has got to deal with Merchants of Speed licensing AHRA merch. So
he and I talked about that at No Name.
Proof that ninjas use shoe goo. Yes, if you want to see unfinished project, plug a tire with shoe goo. And I can't imagine why that wouldn't work great. Probably actually would work better than regular rubber cement. This Elmer's rubber cement is what I use to put these up. And one bottle lasts me 1 year. Works out just right.
You mean you don't use shoe goo?
Nope. I use Elmer's rubber cement. When we started the YouTube thing, we never thought we would be getting to be part of a community like this. Yes, that's why it exists. It needed to be here. I just wanted to have a cookout in the middle of the country with my YouTube friends at a drag strip.
Right. You've done a damn good job of it.
And called up Dallas and strategized with him on how we make that happen. So Dallas and I scratched this thing up from the ground.
Merchants of Speed wanted to get an agreement to make jackets.
Yeah. Mater wants to get with you on a design for his channel and shirts.
You got my number.
Brian Beeler, the car roundup guy himself. No, never done. Look at what we made. It's we. I mean, this community is all of us, right?
Speaking of merch, coming up here in the next week or so, right around Christmas time, I think I'll have the stuff ready. Unity Motorsports Garage, Andy, is going to have a new shirt coming out. And Shane Polito, the Cookie Monster shirt, will be coming out. Professor P.
Roll back because it was right before. I think I can find it in here. Here we go. Dr. Doe has a question. This is a good one for Tony. And Dallas is in here, and Andy's in here. So we really got some carb knowledge in this chat. I was uneducated and bought a 1903 VRS. I'm not sure if that's the right letters, and found out it was to be a dual quad application instead of just the 1901 intended to be a single carb.
Live and learn. ABS.
Yeah, that's what I think. You think he means an ABS, like a Carter ABS? So I think
Edelbrock, the 1900 series ones. I think.
Right.
For the ABS too.
Dallas, Andy, Tony, people with experience with these, B&R. What's your best think on that? He has a single carb from a dual carb setup. Needs to run a single.
You can absolutely make it work. Just change secondary jets, primary jets, and rods. Yeah. Get your spec sheet for a single carburetor setup.
Yeah.
And do what it says. You can buy the kit from Edelbrock. It's like $50. It comes with all the rods and jets and everything. The tune-up kit. And you should have that anyway with one of those carbs.
Dr. Goes.
Yeah, you can absolutely convert it over.
More than expected. Has a great lady by his side. Yeah, counts for a lot. Colleen says, "I'm forever grateful for the Notre Dame Nationals." Yeah. Well, you know what? It's all of us. Really, it is. That's who the Notre Dame National is us. Without the people, nothing else matters.
Andy said the same thing I did here in the chat. No problem. Just swap jets and rods.
Should be feasible. B&R says so. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. But you guys could definitely answer that better than me. Dallas says he can make that carb work as long as it's the primary carb in the dual setup. Okay, that's a good one. Good one to know. You know what's great is all the diverse knowledge of carburetors we have here because Dallas is Captain Quadrajet.
I didn't think about that, but Dallas has a good point. If it's intended to be the
Yeah,
secondary carburetor, it won't have a
yeah.
choke on it,
Right.
which
Well, but
doesn't
you
mean
don't
it
necessarily
couldn't
have to have a
work, but it
choke.
would still be chokeless.
You don't have to have a choke either.
It
But
just
Dr.
wouldn't
Go
be
likes things to
as
have manners.
street friendly. Yeah, you could absolutely make it work. Hell, I got enough jets and rods out in the garage. I could make that sucker work. Captain Q Jet. Yep.
Dallas is Captain Quadrajet. Now, the trivia was fun. I figured it'd be good for Dougster. And sometimes I do, randomly get people who I think are good for this. Like Unfinished Project has done it. Dougster has done it. A few people have.
Oh, hell yes, Andy. I keep
Yeah,
clicking on these like it. Yeah,
I agree.
Captain Q Jet.
Oh, yeah. Dallas needs to wear an Evil Knievel cape with Captain Quadrajet on the
We
back.
need to get Dallas's Thunderbird on a shirt.
No kidding. Boy, that car is photogenic.
It is.
Dr. Ghost said, I saw the primary and secondary was same size for single carb, and the dual carb had a smaller secondary. Searches said you could not do it, but I was thinking it could be done. This does have a choke. Well, if it does have a choke, it's to be the primary.
What size CFM wise is that carburetor? A 1903, I'm assuming is probably a 600 or
That sounds
650.
right.
Yeah, it website.
So Dallas, of course, says the channel, the AHRA channel. His channel with his car content, though, on his personal stuff is Mr. Rotter's Neighborhood. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. There's a link to it. Lars just put up. Dr. Goes taking 500 CFM for a 318.
Yeah, I was just say, okay, the 1903 is indeed a 500 CFM. If you haven't done a bunch to that 318, it'll be enough for it.
Yeah. It's a big upgrade over the Carter BBD. How about that?
For sure.
That was my first 4-barrel, was a Carter AVS.
I've worked on a lot of them through the years. Those were some of the first 4-barrels I ever messed with, too. I mean, let's just go out on a limb here and say there's been a whole bunch done to this 318, and you've actually achieved 100% volumetric efficiency, and you plan on running it at 6,500 RPM. It would require 598 CFM. I think for what Dr. Go's wanting it for, I think that 500 will be just fine.
This is good. So, Mr. Rotter's Neighborhood says the AHRA guy's getting on my nerves. I could boot him.
That's funny.
That's pretty good because I like to go in there on Wednesdays and push Dallas's and Polito's buttons, and he's getting to return the favor right now. It's great. I struggle with a 65 Carter AMD. Well, yeah, me too. That's why I went Holly years ago.
That's what's on the rat currently is a pair of them. I don't know if they're, I think they're 68, but still same thing.
BNR likes 100 CFM bigger than calculations call for. Yeah, I mean, the thing is the CFM.
For max effort, I agree.
Yeah, but the engine's going to draw the CFM at once. Right. I mean, that's how it works. The carburetor doesn't decide how much goes in the engine. The engine decides how much comes through the carburetor. But it's just tuning it and getting your booster signal and accelerator pump and all of that to work. That's the key.
But and again, he's talking about max effort stuff.
Yeah.
Dr. Go isn't. I think he's wanting to put it on that red car of his, which is a beautiful car, by the way.
New City Carpet has a question for Dallas. Any word on the track opening possibly in Orange County, New York? Man, something happening in New York. I'll take stuff I have no clue about for 200, Alex.
BNR says go bigger. CFM becomes critical and the accelerator pump shot dialed in. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Dr. Goes says, I won't reach that far with my 318 as I want torque to tow. If I ever go nuts, I'll buy a tunnel ram and a second carb.
All the more reason why that 500's just right for it.
Work fine.
What I was trying to do by that calculation was prove a point that for what he's after, that carburetor will work just fine. Reaching for the stars that he's not reaching for. You know what I mean?
Max Wedge Dick Daster is asking a question. What does it say on the little reverse light on the dash of a 4-speed 69 Super B? I'm surprised I don't know that because I love the 69 Super B.
Oh, man.
I would think it says reverse, but I don't know.
It's funny is I do know that, but I don't know that, if that makes sense.
Huh.
You know, when you know something, you can't think of the freaking answer. I have seen those.
Yeah, I've seen them at swap meets. I just can't think what it says. I mean, I know what he's saying. Dr. Doe, there are people here that know something about everything. Dallas says not forward. That wouldn't be bad. Just remember, R is for reverse, not race.
Heavens says reverse. I have one in my Challenger. So there's your answer. He actually has one.
That's what I thought it said reverse. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, is this a trick question?
Might be.
Who was the first to get that? Old McDonald, maybe?
Old McDonald. I think it was Old McDonald. Oh, excuse me.
AVS, like a Carter AVS, what we're talking about. The vacuum secondary and not the AFB, the 4-barrel. What color bulb? I'm guessing that dingy white.
Well, here's a good trivia question since we're talking about AVS is what does AVS stand for? I'm sure you know, John.
I'm pretty sure I do. Yellow, that's what I'm thinking, is that dingy yellowish white. 600 Holly works on most everything. It does. But it also works like a 600 Holly on most everything.
Correct.
Aluminum vacuum
38.
secondary.
Yep.
Air valve secondary.
The 38 got it right there. That's what it is. Air valve secondary.
With your powers combined, become the dynamic. I'll tell you what, between Tony and I, we could probably do some good transmission stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because we're both transmission-ophobes. We could divide and conquer between the 904 and the 727. We need me and Tony Ross and Cope, so we have the 904, the 727, and the 46RH covered. How about that?
There you go.
All three with our weapons of choice. Clear orange lens. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I've never had a 69 Super B. American Viola Society. All varnish secretions. Yeah. It's always fun when these guys get into the wrong answers only. You know what? It just occurred to me because I started the fuzz late. I'm now overtime. So I'm going to wrap up. My time is up in exactly 3, 2, 1 seconds. And we're going to wrap up here. Thank you guys for playing. Oh, yeah, and Dallas for the switch pitch. That's the last comment of the night. Right
there you go.
So we're going to wrap up here. Go on over to Tony's Hot Rod Garage. At the bottom of the first hour of Tony's Live, he's going to be giving away your choice of shirt or hat from your favorite content creator on his channel. So go over there and check it out. And I'll come over there and join you, but if it pays to play, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. We're out. See you at Tony's here in a few minutes.
See you in a minute, guys. Thanks, John.